and Jeff Levering shopping together at Pella? What next? How about 0% interest for up to 60 months when you place your order by February 23rd at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 2/23/2024.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Bruston Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time for the best 60 minutes of your life. This is the Homer Hour, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Alongside former Badger and Packer Gary Ellerson, here's Emmy Award winner Homer.
It's the best 60 minutes of your day. The Homer Hour. This, of course, the Gary Ellerson's Homer Hour. And that means it's Friday. And there's no football to talk about, but there is. I can't wait for the next season to start. I want to see how good Jordan Love is. But I don't know how you are from year to year. You've done this, you played. Is the year over and then you just take time off? Or are there some years where you couldn't wait to play the next year because you knew either how good you were going to be or how good the team was?
Well, the NFL's made it a year-round sport right now, right? When I played, it wasn't really like that. No, it wasn't year-round.
All right, so you get done in January. You got done January.
Well,
1st.
no, but I mean, they keep it in your face, right? They move the draft up. I mean, they've got all this other stuff that are going on.
Right.
And so, I mean, you got the combine going on. So the NFL keeps it a story year round. So there's always football to talk about. I think if you're looking at the Green Bay Packers,
it wasn't that way with you.
No, not when we played. I mean,
so you got free till March, April?
Well, we had mini camps and those types of things, but I'm just talking about the way they promote it, right?
They figured that out.
For fans.
Yes.
It's always in your face.
Yes.
There's always news happening. I mean, right now, if you think about the Super Bowl just ended, now it's really about coaching. All these coachings moving around.
Right.
And pretty soon it's going to be about players
moving around.
Free agency. So the NFL's done a great job of keeping the NFL in the forefront, in your face for fans 24/7, 365. And I think that's good, right, for most fans who love the NFL. And if you don't want to, which you can, but if you add in the Taylor Swift effect, because I think that's real too, I think she has done something to the NFL where now it's at the forefront of a lot of women that really weren't watching football. Not necessarily women, but maybe a lot of young girls that weren't watching football like they were. So there's a lot to like about the NFL other than the injuries.
Everybody's hurt. And you're hurt now. Growing up, I would have loved to have been Gary Ellison. What it's like to go on a football field and look at somebody and go, this is not going to go well for you. I mean, that's the way it is growing up.
I don't know if I told you this story, though, Homer. So one of my coaches, they bring us all in. And I came from not so good of a neighborhood, right? And so, we had a lot of cats that were, not great guys, right? And so he was trying to appeal to these
How old
guys. I was 9th grade.
Okay.
So he was trying to appeal to some of these cats.
They know how good you might be already.
Oh, yeah. Well, growing up, I mean,
right.
They already know. But it's my lineage, my aunt, you can call her Jump Shot Fanny. She had led the state of Georgia for the most points in a game by a female. So this is at my high school. So everybody knew the Ellerson last name. And when I got there, the coaches coached my aunt and all that. And so my dad. So they all knew. And then my uncles were really good. And so they all knew.
There's pressure, or is there
No,
really?
There wasn't. Back then, no one knew. You just played it and played it. But anyway, let me tell you the story.
All right, 9th grade.
So the coach gathers around. Okay, all right, boys, come on in. Because let me tell you a little about the game of football. You can commit assault and battery between these two white lines and not go to jail. That's football.
Now, that wasn't for you, but that was for the group because some of them were involved in
Right.
getting in trouble.
Yeah, you guys want to go for all you bad guys over there. Want to go? Here's what you can do here
Without the same risk.
without the same risk. You can do all that between these two white lines and not go to jail. So that was really my first full high
my
school
follow-up
experience
on that.
Introduction
Did
to football.
anybody buy it?
Yes.
Oh, some did.
Yes. Yes, you don't tell some of these guys that.
But
that
did they
just sets
buy
the
it for
stage.
4 years? I
Yes, that just sets the stage. Unless they got in trouble, then they got in elsewhere. We couldn't keep them on the team anymore. But that was outside
It
the
worked.
lines. But
It worked.
Yes. But you couldn't get away with that today. You're not going to go to a high school coach is not saying that to his high school kids today. That's not acceptable. Different world. You and I both know that.
I do, but I don't know that that's bad. I'm not sure that they shouldn't say that. I mean, you have to find another way to say it, but athletics has been used by a lot of kids for a lot of years.
Yes.
To keep them out of trouble.
Right.
To take care of their strength, their energy.
Right. And to keep them in schools. For a lot of
right.
guys, keep them in school.
I don't know. So you can't, I admit, you can't say that.
No,
but
you
you
can't
can
say that.
You could say.
Could you imagine?
You could do things on a football field that you can't do anywhere else.
Yeah.
And it's accepted.
Right. Well, you're asking the kid to be physical, right?
I don't know. I'm trying to think how you would say it.
But that's the tone. Physical. I mean, that's the tone.
And maybe
But you're
that's still said.
Could you imagine if little Johnny came home to mom and said, "My dad, the coach told me I could commit assault and battery between these two white lines and not go to jail."
You can't say assault and battery.
You can't.
But I do believe in the
that.
South, in some towns, in some areas, the approach to football isn't that much different than it was back then. Or am I wrong?
May not be down there. Or, in in Florida,
Well, in
Texas,
some neighborhoods, you have a
Texas,
chance.
Georgia.
Here's the difference, and I don't know that it applied to you. What I would say to kids, you got a chance to make money that no one can fathom. I don't care who you are. I don't know what you are. I know this. Check all the things you can do,
right.
and they're a very small percentage that make it. But it's worth the gamble.
Yeah.
Given you're good at this, you might be able to retire in 3 years.
Right.
Never have to work another day in your
if
life.
you get drafted pretty high, guys.
Or
will
whatever.
retire
I don't
now.
know.
Yeah,
And then
no, I'm just
football,
saying.
basketball, baseball,
Right.
the money. And so I don't know if that's what you would say now, but it's a fact. I
Yeah,
don't know
it is
that
a
it would have affected you, but maybe it would have. I think the gamble, when people say you've got skills and whatever they are, I'm going to take a chance.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I can redo my life at someone will tell you can't do it by what? Probably 22, 25.
Well, you know how good you are. I mean, when you're in school and when you're in high school, you
right,
know.
but you may not really like the game.
And then again, a lot of guys don't like
right,
it.
and now I'm telling
but
you.
a lot of guys don't like the game, but they know what the game can give them.
Right,
or
and
set
that's
them
different
up.
now than it was for you.
Yeah, well, they just played it to get the money, and then
there was a certain amount of money you knew you had a chance. That's not, we're talking
right.
crazy money.
Right, yeah, absolutely. But I would say the NFL has done a great job of keeping the NFL relative in everybody's mind.
Well, and the reality is people love the game.
Right.
You ask them why. I think a big part of it is there aren't that many games. It's once a week.
That's true.
Everybody can get fired up.
Right.
I hate Thursday.
Right.
I think it's the stupidest thing they did. It's too much. I don't watch Thursday. Once in a while I will, but not like
the Thursday game seems to be not. The matchups are not as good as you would like for them to be.
It doesn't fit. I'm not ready.
Well, I'm ready.
You're ready by Thursday.
I can do it every day.
Really?
Every day of the week I can do football.
You can watch football?
Every day of the week.
I'm thinking
No.
No.
And even this year, if you look at the Packers this year, you talk about being relative.
Right.
A Hafley's got to do what? A staff?
Yeah.
New defense?
I think that's all overrated.
Draft? No, it's not.
You got
You'll
players.
see.
I can figure out a defense
You'll
for them
see.
to play.
You'll see.
Right?
You'll see.
I mean, you
You'll
look
see.
at.
I mean, if you look at.
Well, let's look at your offense. Look at the offense that you played in. And I'm thinking you're saying, I got the right guys. Any offense can work. Now, they throw the ball more, but you got a good line, you got a great running back, or I just don't think a scheme can screw that up. And if you don't got the talent, I don't think a scheme can do that much.
No, I think if you look at if you saw Kansas City in the Super Bowl,
Right.
you looked at the San Francisco 49ers,
Yeah.
they were running a four-man front.
Right.
It's completely different than what you've seen the Green Bay Packers do.
I understand, but is it going to really change that much?
I think, yes, it most
Really?
certainly, because it's going to change the way they play the game.
Well, but I look at, to me, I go from the back to the front now. You're going to have 5 guys back there.
Well, see,
Because of passing. So now I got 5 guys back there. Now I got 6 guys in the front and the linebacker. Whether it's 3-3 or 4-2 doesn't matter. Then I'm going to bring one guy up.
Well,
or,
you're going to have, it's a 4-3, so you're actually going to have 7 guys with one guy down
But
in
they're
the box.
not.
But one guy in the box.
They're
They're
going to have 5 defensive backs almost.
The biggest thing is a 4-2-5, but Homer,
Correct.
I would say this. If you watch what San Francisco did, and if you watch Kansas City in the Super Bowl, you say that defense is not what the Packers ran last year. You'll know the difference.
All right.
All you got to do is go back and watch this.
Fine, but what am I going to see that's different?
Well, you'll see the 4-man front, the
Okay.
3 linebackers that you didn't see last year.
Well, but then
And the way they attack
I don't know
the
how. I
football.
don't think they're going to play that very much because I think you're going to have 5 defensive backs. I think you end up maybe having a safety that acts like a
down in the
linebacker
box.
or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have to wait. I'm not going to convince you otherwise.
You might.
But it'll be different than what you saw. And the defensive backs will be different than
I
what
don't
you
care
saw
if it's
as well.
different. You know what I care?
Well, what results?
Yeah,
Everybody
it's
wants
better.
results.
And I don't know, you know, you've seen it go from 4 to 3 to
Yeah,
all the different
all that.
things. And everything's changed fundamentally to me because everybody passes the ball more.
Right.
So what do? I got to have linebackers, and you certainly saw that. San Francisco, I mean, they got linebackers
That can run.
and do everything.
Yes, right. And you got to have that.
I mean, that is
And we'll
to me,
see if we have that.
To me, that's the most valuable
I think Quay
position.
Walker in our defense could be that guy. I think Isaiah McDuffie, when you saw him,
Yeah,
a
but
little
sometimes
bit
he runs where nobody else is.
Well, and that's the problem, getting him in the right spot.
Okay.
Because when he was at Georgia, we didn't see that. Quay Walker.
I agree.
He was everywhere.
Right, but I
So
assume that offenses
that's-
are more complicated
Well,
and can find
no,
a way
I think
to keep him out of it.
No, find a way to have him be effective
So you think
and not be lost.
If I was to ask you, I believe I know the answer to that. The change in systems should or might, what's the word you want to use, help him more than anybody else on the team.
I think it'll help him. Yeah, absolutely. I think he, to me, and Jair Alexander, I think will be another guy that benefits from this system because they'll play it like they wanted to play it. They want to be in man.
Okay,
So
Walker,
he'll be in press man.
he will. That's what he wants.
Well, Jair will be.
Jair, yeah. And then Quay Walker will be,
I think
kind of like a middle linebacker,
Well,
is an outside
I don't know what they're
linebacker?
going to do with him, but in this defense, I make him a weak linebacker.
Okay.
And I just let him flow to the football. I mean, put him on a wide side of the field maybe and let him cover all that ground. I don't think you got to make it complicated for him.
Right.
See ball, hit ball. See
Right,
ball,
or
go
see
get ball.
the player, whatever. He can.
Whatever. I think that's where, and then take advantage of his speed on the
I
outside.
mean, he can guard people and stay with people.
all that. And that's
stay with that guy.
And that's how he played at Georgia.
So you
and
think
that's how Jair played in college.
Does that mean they'll play more man?
In this defense, they should play more press man.
Because it would appear that those are 2 players that you've mentioned that would
benefit from this defensive change. So I can't wait. I think if you look at the NFL as a whole, specifically the Green Bay Packers, I can't wait for this season. I can't wait for the defense. I can't wait to see what Jordan Love is going to be.
That's 90% of it to me.
I can't wait to see whether Bakhtiari is coming back or not coming back.
He's done.
You don't know that yet.
I know, of course you don't know, but I'm telling you, I'm
there's
trying
a
to help you.
possibility that he takes a pay cut and comes back.
I don't know that he's going to be healthy enough to be able to play next
We don't
year.
know that yet.
Well, I'm not counting
Other than
on
that, he's retired. But we don't know. That still, to me, looms large out there about this team where you
What
don't
if
know.
I tell you-
You can say he ain't coming back, fine, but we don't know that.
Well, but if you said that, then we would know that. I think.
Well, I don't know if he's coming back or
I
not.
think there's 80% chance that he's not helping the Packers next season.
I think he takes a pay cut and come back.
All right. So
and try.
And
try.
Tried.
And if it doesn't work,
I
it
don't
doesn't
care.
work.
I know. Well, I'm factoring that in.
You lose no money on that.
I know. But I'd say there's an 80% chance that he doesn't play for the Packers next season for all the reasons.
So you think he'll be healthy enough to play somewhere else?
No, I think he's probably not healthy enough to play anywhere.
So
much.
he's retiring now.
I think
this is it. We saw the last.
He'll either retire or, depending on how long, I think he might want to give it a shot. But I think this upcoming year will be a very, very, very small part of that return.
So you think he's going to the Jets?
This next year? No.
This upcoming football season, he's with Aaron Rodgers.
No, I don't think he is.
You don't think he's going to the Jets?
Because even if he goes to Jets, I don't think he's capable of playing much with all the injuries and stuff.
Well, and that's why I think the Packers fit his needs, because we have a left tackle already.
Right.
And you've got a guy in place. Bakhtiari comes back, he helps you if he wants to take the pay cut. I don't think the Packers paid him the money that they were paying him, but I think there's a possibility
in that position. You might have a point at that, as more of a backup. Or whenever you're ready to play.
If you take the pay cut, you can move now Walker over to right tackle, and that cures all your ills over at right tackle. Zach Tom, you kick him. I mean, you can kick him down inside.
Well, but I'm not even sure.
There's a lot that they can do.
I'm not sure that they have to do anything with Walker. It would be more like if Walker got hurt or something.
Well, yeah, whatever you want to do, it just gives you more flexibility.
Here's the big question.
I think there's no wrong answer to this.
There is.
You know how the Packers like to have all their linemen play different positions.
But the question is, we're going to take a break, and we'll lead this off with quarter two. Is there a truth to, because of the youth and the team and everything, and some of the things he said, that they don't really want him around the group and how good that group was last year? We want that group this year. I'm not sure we want Bakhtiari to be a part of that group. That's the question for Gary Ellison. He will answer next, the second quarter. And yes, proud to say, we're already behind.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on 94.5 ESPN.
We're moving along a little bit slowly westbound 94 from 16th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side is a bit backed up from just east of 84th Street through the stadium. Other than that, southbound 894 down and around the Hale interchange going to be a little bit on the tight side, making your way over to Forest Home where there's a broken down vehicle. Other than that, everything else seems to be rolling along fine. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy, cold, a low of 13 with a wind chill of 5 above to 5 below. And then tomorrow, partly cloudy, chilly, breezy with a high of 31. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play Whistling Straits and other Pro Tour courses, whatever the weather is, in one of their 12 state-of-the-art simulators.
Football guy.
Good morning, Tausch. How are you?
Football guy.
Old T's a little, I'm not feeling 100%.
Coming at it from different views.
No, just I think with all that little stuff that's going around and the long trip back from the loo, I'm going to grind.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by Coors Light. Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. And available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey, it's Gary Olson here for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking for that midday escape? Or maybe you want to impress a client? No matter the season, rain, snow, or shine, Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is open for you. A top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play legendary courses. Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center simulators, entertainment, and best Bloody Marys make it feel like summer all year round. Just $35 an hour gets you a round and puts that summer feel back in your life. Book your bay at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Make a stop at the Harley-Davidson Museum before heading out to the Mama Tried Motorcycle Show. They'll have food and drink specials from the Motor Bar and Restaurant. Explore their newest exhibit, Mama Tried, bringing it together, and take a free shuttle to the rave for Saturday's show. The HD Factory Outlet Sale in Rumble includes fantastic deals on end-of-season and discontinued Harley-Davidson motor clothes and merchandise. Don't miss the fun pre-show gatherings. Thursday, February 22nd through Sunday, February 25th at the Harley-Davidson Museum.
It's Steinhaffel's biggest President's Day sale ever. Take an extra $100 off your purchase of $19.99 or more. Plus, find hundreds of amazing bonus buys store-wide. And get up to a $300 airline reward card with a qualifying purchase. See store for details. The deals don't stop there. Take an extra 10% off our already low clearance center furniture prices. Shop in-store and online at steinhaffels.com. Relax, it's Steinhaffels.
It's Fish Fry Friday. Homer's joined by Chris Leffler of Hot House Tavern to talk about their fish fry.
Hot House. Take it away.
Hot House Tavern, Menominee Falls, in the old fire station. The fire station was built in 1929. It housed the fire station, the police station, the jail, the village hall, and the library. And now it's one building, Hot House Tavern, featuring great food and, of course, fish fry on Fridays.
Well, I know when you start it, the first thing you guarantee is we're going to have a fish fry, right?
Having a fish fry is always a natural in Wisconsin.
All right, and now you have to decide what kind of a fish fry are we going to have at the Once Fire Station.
We feature perch, cod, and walleye for Lent.
And you always have something special at all your places, or it's special that it used to be a fire station.
Well, my advice to be able to get out there and enjoy your fish fry with a tasty John Jensen drink. You'll love it.
Hot House Tavern in Menominee Falls. Special Canadian walleye is available for a limited time. HotHouseTavern.com. This is the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
The second quarter, the best 60 minutes of your day. Gary Ellison's Homer Hour, and I like to talk about Fisco Auto Body because you'll like me. I mean, you really, I know. Well, wait, shouldn't they want you to like Fisco? Yeah, but here's how it works. I tell you about Fisco Auto Body. Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin. And if you listen to me, people have, and then you love Fisco. You got your auto body place forever. When anything happens, it can be a pain. It's not a pain because you just go to Fisco, they take care of everything. And then you go, wow, thanks, Homer. Yes, it helps my reputation. Thanks, Fisco. Family business owned since 1931. It's not what they do, it's who they are. Fisco, 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 to remember the name. Do the Packers want David Bakhtiari back? He's not the old David Bakhtiari. He's David Bakhtiari by name. He's got all these injuries. He may come back in whatever fashion they could use him, as you talked about before the break. Do you think they want him back?
I think they do. And you say all these injuries, there's only one injury. That's just the knee.
I know, but he had various things occur with it. It's been a pain.
It's just the knee. It's the knee right. That's all they got to worry about.
But how many years has he been dealing with that knee?
Exactly. So don't say all these injuries. It's just one injury.
Okay, one injury.
The knee.
That's really bad.
Yes.
It's been really bad.
Yeah, agreed.
Now,
why wouldn't you want him back?
He could retire.
He could.
Right.
But why wouldn't you want him back?
Again, you had this group, whatever that group was, and they seemed to play well. And
you add him
young,
to that group.
And you don't think that changes things?
I don't think it does. I mean, I think it changes dynamics of now got a proven guy at left tackle, and I think it gives you more flexibility on your offensive line. It gives you more depth on your offensive line that you didn't have before.
Okay.
Now, you're going to have to draft an offensive lineman anyway in this draft.
Always. You always draft
But I still think that gives you a little bit more security on this offensive line, a little bit more flexibility if you bring him back.
But you brought it up, so I'll mention it as well. Is he going to play for the Jets? Does he want to play with Aaron Rodgers? You get the feeling that he doesn't want to play in Green Bay. He really wants to play with the Jets. Well, if he wants to play for the Jets, do you really want him here?
See, we don't know whether he wants to play for the Jets or not. Has he said that?
No. But you even brought it up, so it's at least crossed your mind, even if he hasn't said anything.
Everybody's mind. It's obvious because Aaron Rodgers wanted all the players to go with him.
I'll tell you what I would be if I was David Bakhtiari.
That's where all this came from. If you look at the players that he took from Green Bay that went over to the Jets, so it was obvious that Bakhtiari would be one of those guys that.
Well, I think he wanted to play with Aaron Rodgers, but I think now, if I was David Bakhtiari, if they wanted me, I don't play for Green Bay Packers. I know this team, and that quarterback can play.
I think he would love to finish his career in Green Bay.
Yeah.
I mean, he should. I think you look at I think I saw something about Devontae Adams maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, said something about that kid can play, Jordan Love can play. Do you think Devontae wish he would have stayed?
Yes, he does. Yeah, I mean,
So
that's what I think. Do you think he wishes?
I think there have been doubters.
Do you think he
of
wishes
Jordan
he would have
Love
stayed?
in that locker room?
Yeah,
and I think there were guys that were behind him in that locker room. But I think there's a lot of guys that Jordan Love won over that want to play with him.
Yeah, anybody that's got two eyes.
Yes.
I mean, if I was Devontae Adams, I would have given serious thought to leaving.
Yeah.
I wasn't against
and
Jordan
I don't know.
Love, but
I will say this about Devontae, and I don't know, but it could have been more like Brett Favre and Sterling Sharp, where Brett only threw to Sterling Sharp.
Right.
Where I think it would have been like Jordan Love only threw to Devontae Adams, and we would not have seen these other receivers developed the way they developed.
Yeah, I'm an expert
There's
on saying
two sides
things I
to
don't
that.
know. No, I think Devontae Adams was irritated at the Packers that they didn't give the money he deserved when they first were capable
That's
of doing
what it sounds like.
Yeah. And I would. Here's how I would be. I don't want to play here. I can't believe you're that stupid. If you're that stupid that you don't get that, what other stupid things are you doing?
Right.
I don't want to play.
Right.
I want to go somewhere else.
Right.
And then there was nothing on the other side. You know, the pluses minuses. It goes.
Right.
My kid's going to be really good.
Yeah.
You might want to cover that for. But there was no one saying that.
No, not no one.
And given that, I will admit, I don't know what Devontae Adams would have thought and if it would have made him want to stay because he knew the situation with the Raiders. But
Well, it was going to be about Carr and him, and that didn't pan out.
It didn't, but I'm saying I
He
don't
thought
know.
it was gonna be.
I don't know.
And then it was about his family being closer to his family.
Yeah.
It's about all that.
But I can see how he would get mad. Mm-hmm. They're like, well, I don't want to play for you.
Right.
So, because eventually they supposedly did offer him the money. So, well, you talked about this upcoming year and mentioned the defense, and I'm 95% on Jordan Love. The chance of the Packers being a player, and by that I mean, like, I don't know if they're going to win the division, but they're a team expected to make the playoffs all year.
Yeah.
Teams are going to be talking about
Yeah.
the Packers as a player and then seeing how they're doing.
Right.
They don't make the playoffs.
Disappointing.
People will be as surprised not making the playoffs next year as surprised making the playoffs this year.
Well, it'd be a disappointment.
And well, no, at the end of the year, unless there's some reason for it, to be like, well, last year was phony. Last year was phony. Mm-hmm. Because as good as they looked, you expect them to build on it.
Right.
Anything could happen in the playoffs, but I mean, they should win 11 games.
Right. They would. In my opinion, they wouldn't be considered to win the North. I think it's the Detroit Lions.
But they're a player.
But they're a playoff. Yeah, they're a playoff team.
Is it possible that they could win the North? Hell yes.
Yes, they could.
I'd say.
Yeah.
I'm going to go.
No, it's 50-50 for me.
Really? You have it at 50?
Yeah, it's
I don't have it at 50. I got them like 40, 60.
Because they can split with the Lions again.
Right.
And who knows what the Vikings are going to be?
I do.
I'm waiting.
Yeah, they're nothing.
Okay.
They're a mess.
So they're nothing. So that's 2 wins right there. You split with.
I wouldn't say that.
The Bears are going to be what?
A mess.
Okay. And so they beat the Bears.
But I don't know. Of the Vikings and the Bears, you got 4 games.
Yeah.
They're not winning all 4. They'll lose one of those, I think.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Not this
I
year.
got to write that one down. All right. We will get to the third quarter. I do want to mention, go beyond your field of study. What?
Please mention that. Go
you
for
go
it.
4-0. I got 3-1.
Please.
Yeah. Will you say, Homer, you were right if I'm right?
At the end of the year? Next year?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
And I'll say you're right if you're right.
Yeah.
I don't have any problem with that.
So you're saying we're going to be doing this show for a while, sounds like.
Hell yes. I believe that, yes. Yes. This show's good.
Okay, all right. Go ahead.
I just got to learn not to talk as much. Okay. Nobody ever says, hey, Homer, you go. They go like, damn, Gary's good. He's got to talk more. You got to have more. And I go like, I know what you're saying, but you're right. Go beyond your field of study and get a world-class education in leadership by joining the U.S. Army ROTC. As an Army officer, you'll work side by side with peers who support your growth, and you'll become a role model, mentor, and decision-maker in any environment at any scale. It's a challenging path, but along the way, you'll sharpen your skills and show yourself and those around you exactly what you're capable of. Decide to lead at goarmy.com/officer or contact your local Marquette University Army ROTC program to get started. You know this show is good. Best 60 minutes of your day. Third quarter. Yep, and we're still behind. Next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Backups continue along 94 eastbound from about 76th Street through the Stadium interchange all the way to 27th Street. The westbound side is going to be heavy from about 25th to Mitchell Boulevard. Westbound on 894 is our other heavy spot coming out of the Mitchell interchange out towards 51st Street. Otherwise, everything else is rolling along just fine. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Partly cloudy, cold with a low of 13, wind chill of 5 above to 5 below. And then tomorrow, partly cloudy, chilly, breezy, a high of 31. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Traffic is brought to you by Great Lakes Dragway. Gear up for the spring season at the legendary Great Lakes Dragway. Season-long family passes are available now at GreatLakesDragway.com.
Get ready for an unforgettable week at Eagle Sports Range, Wisconsin's largest indoor range and retail firearm selection. They're celebrating their grand opening on February 16th through the 18th. 3 days of action-packed festivities featuring representatives from brands like Smith & Wesson, FN, and Vortex. It's your chance to meet the experts and get up close with the latest innovations in the industry. Plus, brace yourself for thrilling raffles, unbeatable sales, and much, much more. It's not just an event, it's an experience. Be part of the excitement from February 16th through the 18th. Eagle Sports Range, where passion meets expertise. EagleSportsRange.com.
Hey ESPN Milwaukee fans, Gary Ellison here from my friends at Best Electric Services. They're family owned and operated and have been serving you for over 50 years. No job is too big or too small, whether it's completing a residential or commercial project or even installing electrical vehicle charging. Best Electric provides quality service at fair prices. They are experienced and licensed electrical contractors ready to get to work. Connect with the Best Electric Services. Find out what they can do for you and visit bestelect.com today.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Walls, and right now, schedule your free in-home estimate, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free. Plus, a free upgrade to triple pane glass, and they'll double your energy tax credit. Restrictions apply. You'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Go beyond your field of study and get a world-class education in leadership by joining the U.S. Army ROTC. Army ROTC programs transform students into confident leaders and provide a wide range of scholarships to help pursue life-defining careers. As an Army officer, you'll work side by side with peers who support your growth. Gain the experience and get the resources to open doors down the road. Army ROTC is open for enrollment. Visit goarmy.com/ROTC to learn more about available opportunities and scholarships, including at Marquette University.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart, located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. National Liquor Mart is packed with deals for all your beverage needs, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
Not the way the Bucks wanted to head into the All-Star break as they fell on the road to the Memphis Grizzlies 113-110. Milwaukee rallied from a 10-point third-quarter deficit but couldn't pull it out in the end. Head coach Doc Rivers hammered his team afterwards, particularly their discipline and effort.
First play, we gamble for the 50th time in the corner, leads to a 3. On our set, 2 guys forget what we're running. Then we miss a shot, and then nobody gets back. That's how we start out the third quarter. That tells you all you need to know about where our heads were. We had some guys here, we had some guys in Cabo.
The Bucks now 35-21 and 3-7 under new head coach Doc Rivers. They're back in action Friday, February 23rd at Minnesota.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. You're listening to the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
It is the third quarter of the Homer Hour. Gary Ellerson's Homer Hour. We're talking about the Green Bay Packers. We just made two predictions. I say the 4 games against the Vikings and the Bears, the Packers will lose one. They'll go 3-1. Gary, you say 4-0.
4-0?
And I don't think either of those teams are going to be really good, but it's the division. That kind of stuff happens.
Okay.
I have the Packers a 40% chance to win the division. The Lions at 60. You say it's 50-50. And now everybody's going to want an
because they're going to split.
Fine, they're going to split those games
with the Lions.
It's
the Lions,
whole
for sure.
season.
Yeah, right. And their schedule is much more difficult than it was last year, obviously.
And I still think the Lions are a little bit better.
I don't know if the Lions are better than the Packers.
And why do you say that? The Packers, you think they're going to be better defensively, and Jordan Love's going to be every bit as good?
There's something about the Lions that I'm not actually sold on quite yet. I have to see them a little bit more next year, but this year they weren't. Most certainly they played well, but when the Packers went in and took it to them, was that Thanksgiving? To me, showed a lot of flaws.
Them.
Yeah,
no, the Lions have to regroup because they thought under Crazy Man that we're just tougher.
And
all we got to do is be tougher. We're going to beat them every time.
And so he subscribes to the high school coach I had, Dan Campbell.
Yes. Oh yeah.
That's his deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he realized, and I give LaFleur credit.
You got to be more than that.
You got to be fine. You're
be
tougher.
more than that.
You may be tougher, but anybody who watched that game thought, "Wait a minute, I think the Packers might be as tough or tougher than the Lions that game."
They out-schemed them, Homer.
Right, but they also there were the toughness issue.
They weren't afraid of the Lions.
It wasn't like we're smarter, so we beat you.
Right.
But no, we played your.
I was trying to think of. There's no more teams like the Chicago Bears defense when I played.
We thought Baltimore
was. There's no more. That Tampa Bay defense with Sapp and Brooks in them, that was pretty good.
They've kind of changed the rules.
Yeah, that Ravens defense with Ray Lewis in them.
Can you play it the way they did?
I don't know if there was it. There has been.
But that's my question for you.
A defense.
Do they allow you to play?
No, they
like
don't.
That?
They don't. They want that gone from the game. Obviously.
Right. Now, Baltimore was good enough. They like that. San Francisco's defense, they like that. But this is my question. You have so many more defensive backs. A team.
Because they want to throw the ball.
Right.
More.
A team could be like those only if they had these incredible linebackers that we talked about and also a safety or two.
That can run.
A safety who can run and just pound into you in the open
field. I think
field.
you'll see the Packers take a safety very early this year. They have to.
The second year, not as a team, the second year of a quarterback like Jordan Love. I asked somebody to do a research, but is there truth to teams spending time and energy to try to figure out not a weakness of Jordan Love, but how to diminish his quality of play? I mean, is there a second year?
So you're going to see.
Is there a sophomore jinx, or is it made up?
I don't know if the sophomore jinx, but I think what you're going to see, Homer, that's a great question. I think you're going to see a lot of teams go back and study the tape. What he does well and what he doesn't do well.
Okay.
And then they'll find that out. And they'll play the percentages. And right now, I think the book is on him. He can beat a blitz. Don't blitz him.
All right.
But make him slow it down a little bit for him and play a little bit more zone and make him read that zone.
How do I slow it down or what?
Well, when you play a little bit more zone, you got to find the guy, right? And, man, you have all these crossing patterns, all these rub patterns. You kind of know who's going to be open.
Right.
In zone, you're like in a spot, holes, find that hole. And I think that'll slow you. It just slows your progression down a little bit more.
His group of receivers seem to be pretty good.
They do.
Because I think the key to that is you got to know when to stop and not run.
So, which means a little bit more communication, right? On the same page.
You have to see the same thing.
All that takes time, though. And whereas if you're playing straight man and you're blitzing a lot, you pretty much know who's going to come open and beat your guy.
You do?
Yeah.
What, in regard to Jordan Love's play, impressed you the most?
I think from day one we saw it. Never got rattled. Everybody take that for granted. Never got rattled.
Don't you what?
At 2 and 5, the dude was the same.
Don't
dude.
you want some emotion? Don't you want?
He
the
showed some
quarterback?
emotion, but still, at 2 and 5, just never seen the game got too big for him.
All right, even from when you played, so you don't have to mention anybody. How do you know, even when it's your quarterback, when somebody's rattled? How do you know?
I think the
You go back to the huddle and go, oh man,
the defensive guys can pick up on that much sooner than an offensive guy.
Oh, all right,
because they're looking right in your eyes. When you're on offense with your guy, you don't see them because everybody's facing forward. But them defensive guys, they looking in your eyes, buddy.
So we should ask some defensive guys
that's
around
the
the
defensive
league.
course. When you look
guys
at
that have
dude's
retired
eyes,
and they
know,
can.
You got him. He doesn't look like he looked in the first quarter. He's running a little scared. Defensive guys pick up on that right away.
So scared in terms of there's a.
Well, no, I shouldn't say.
No, but I know what you're saying because I want to put it like they do things a little more quickly.
Confusion.
Like this play has a certain rhythm to it, and the quarterback takes this amount. All of a sudden, he's not taking 5 seconds. He's taking 4.
Confusion would be the word.
He's reacting sooner than he knows he should.
Or slower.
Yeah.
Slower. Confusion would be the word.
Yeah, but you and the
and
defense.
Then it appears that you look like you're running scared, but you can't diagnose and figure it out.
The defensive person can tell that.
Oh God, right away.
And when guys got to be fun.
Oh God, right away. They know when you don't want no more of this.
Or they don't really know where we are. Whereas I would say last year,
you always heard that seeing ghosts for quarterbacks. Yes, that's a big deal as well. But I don't think.
I never felt
to me,
that.
I think if you look at Jordan Love, there were some times early in the year where he wasn't aware. He didn't know what was going on, and I think progressively you saw him got better. But what I do like about it when he wasn't aware and knew what was going on, he was the same dude. He just wore it on his sleeve. I mean, he didn't wear it on his sleeve. He was the same cool, calm, and collected guy. Nothing never seemed to bother that guy.
And you're saying that's based on how he played, not how he says is not his media interaction. The calmness you're talking that you only care about is about on the field. You're making that judgment, based on what he was doing on the field,
exactly.
Versus
So
a few games in, you thought, man, he's rattled a little bit, and then
I never thought he was rattled.
Really,
never. Because he always had that look.
Right. So was there a game where a play where you went, that dude is good? I mean, that dude is, I don't want to say really
good.
Well,
I think maybe the Saints game, and I don't know if there's a play, but just to put that team on your back and come back and win, I think the Saints game for me was that game.
And then he just kept getting better.
And then after the Denver game, you saw a change in him as well.
But what I saw was, people are open.
Well, I mean, I think there was a lot of noise out there about Matt LaFleur giving him more opportunities to make more plays.
Yeah.
That maybe Matt held him back a little bit early on.
I heard
and
that.
And then give him more of the playbook. I don't know.
I heard that, and I need to have you or Kurt Warner show me what they're talking about.
Right, you have to show you,
Like, okay, fine, that sounds good. And I'm not disagreeing that it took place. Because early in the year, and I still think it's an issue with him, but he can't throw long. He just doesn't throw the ball long very well.
I think he throws it how he throws it.
I know, but it's not. He was throwing it too far. There were too many
I don't know. I
plays
remember the
open.
one game where I was saying no, yes. He threw a ball right down the middle of the field. It looks like a lollipop. I think and dropped it right in the basket of Romeo Doubs.
Yes. I mean, as the season went
between
on.
3 guys.
Right, as the season went on. But he
made that same throw all year long.
Yeah, I'm talking more.
Just like that.
You know,
on the outside, go routes.
Yes.
That's what you're talking about. I know
and
what you're
just
saying.
Watson and he gets hurt a lot. So, but it's just not a strength. It's a, I don't know how you, there's a certain, that you have a certain loft. It's like, and then you have a certain, to get the ball there.
Right.
And it didn't seem like there were many of those, and yet you hear LaFleur talk like, "Well, we threw the ball long more."
Yeah,
I don't know if you did.
I don't
you
know
just
about
threw it
that.
better.
Yeah,
when you and then and it's that just opens everything up.
Well, then,
because there
was a lot going on. You didn't have any Aaron Jones,
right? But I'm saying the teams could play you tight. Well, he can't beat me long. I
understand that, but there was a lot. You didn't have Aaron Jones in there for a stretch of that, so that dictated to how your offense could play as well. Because you saw once you got him back, everything opened up.
Yeah, did it open up because you had him, or did it open up because all of a sudden he's completing passes down the field?
I think it opened up because you had Aaron Jones.
They were better with it.
They were better, Aaron Jones.
All right, we'll get to the fourth quarter, but first.
Yeah.
I know you have somebody to talk about as well. Saganiac Planning, named synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. I've said that for so many years because they've been doing it for so many years, but I've left out. Family-owned for 50 years. 50 years. They're over 50. I think it's like 52, doing it well. Well, I can see how they're that good. I can see how they can simplify what's confusing about insurance decisions and come up with stuff that level-funded health insurance. That's better. And small enough to handle your needs with special attention and large enough to have the clout to make it happen. I like that. But really, when you've been doing it well and you're doing it well for 50 years, yeah, you should be good, and they are. So, Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits, top-notch service, and doing it well for over 50 years. Phone number? Remember, 783-262-783. Roger Maris, 6161. The fourth quarter, Gary Ellison's Homer Hour, Friday, next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on 94.5 ESPN.
Golfers, listen up. It's Gabe Neitzel from On the Tee, and we are heading to Scotland with our friends at Wisconsin Golf Trips. That's right, Scotland. You can join myself and Stephen Watson as we head overseas to play some of the best courses in the world. This package includes green fees, lodging, transportation, and more. But there are only a limited amount of spots available, so sign up now. For information on the trip and a link for paying, you can text GOLF right now to the ESPN Milwaukee Talk and Text line at 800-990-3776. That's GOLF to 800-990-3776.
We know that the people of Wisconsin are hard workers, that they're tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
The countdown to opening day is on. Get your tickets for an action-packed 2024 Brewers season now. That's any game you want, any way you want. All season, featuring brand new giveaways, brand new theme nights and community nights. Can't miss ticket deals, and all the season's best Brewers action. Make sure you're here for every moment. Check out the complete schedule and grab your seats now at brewers.com/tickets.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's. Flavor is our family's business.
Make a stop at the Harley-Davidson Museum before heading out to the Mama Tried Motorcycle Show. They'll have food and drink specials for the motor bar and restaurant. Explore their newest exhibit, Mama Tried, bringing it together, and take a free shuttle to the rave for Saturday's show. The HD Factory Outlet Sale in Rumble includes fantastic deals on end-of-season and discontinued Harley-Davidson motor clothes and merchandise. Don't miss the fun pre-show gatherings. Thursday, February 22nd through Sunday, February 25th at the Harley-Davidson Museum.
It's Steinhaffel's biggest President's Day sale ever. Take an extra $100 off your purchase of $19.99 or more. Plus, find hundreds of amazing bonus buys store-wide. And get up to a $300 airline reward card with a qualifying purchase. See store for details. The deals don't stop there. Take an extra 10% off our already low clearance center furniture prices. Shop in-store and online at steinhaffels.com. Relax, it's Steinhaffel's.
It's Fish Fry Friday. Homer's joined by Chris Leffler of Leff's Lucky Town to talk about their fish fry.
Leff's Lucky Town, you've been there 100 years. How did the fish fry start there, and how has it developed? Because you never keep things the same.
Leff's Lucky Town, we've been on State Street in Wauwatosa since 1994, 30 years now. And we've evolved our fish fry from pretty much doing fish sticks in a small kitchen off the side of our bar to evolved into our kitchen that we have today, which is extensive and from scratch kitchen. And we batter and bread our own fish now, and it's delicious.
Is the world of fish changed that you've had to adjust to what's available for you to provide for your customers?
Inventory has been a terrible challenge over the last few years, but now it's much better, and we're offering cod, perch, and for Lent, walleye from Canada.
Leff's Lucky Town on State Street in Tosa. Head there today for their fish fry and try their infamous Spud Muffin. Leffs.com.
Hi, I'm David Gruber. When you've been seriously injured, you need the best team of professionals on your side. Call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices to get the results you deserve. One call, that's all.
Welcome back to the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
The fourth quarter, Gary Ellerson's Homer Hour. Yes, this show is good. You probably should listen to it a second time to learn even more. We'll get into these specifics in a second for the fourth quarter.
Hey, folks, let me tell you about my good friends over at Best Electric Service. They're a family-owned and operated company that has been in business for over 50 years. No job is too big or too small, from residential to commercial projects and even electrical vehicle charging. Best Electric provides quality at fair prices. Keep your family safe this winter with whole and partial home generators so the power is always on. Don't forget to keep your electronics and appliances protected with whole home surge protection services. Connect with the best and visit bestelect.com.
The fourth quarter, I do want to mention Marquette and UConn are playing tomorrow. A battle of 1 versus 4. The biggest college basketball game since the Old Testament. You can quote me on that. That's
Marquette's coming back a little bit right now. They got hot, and now my Badgers are going the other way.
No, they'll get better.
But isn't that? But to me, that just encapsulate for me.
Yes.
The season.
Yes.
How teams can go through.
Everybody goes through it.
Those ebb and flows like that.
Right. And now the challenge is
Marquette got healthy
again.
And
they're okay. They're back on track.
Right.
And Wisconsin still has enough games.
Yeah.
There's Marquette talks, and Marquette, I believe, is 10-3.
Yeah.
They got 7 conference games still to go.
Yeah.
It's closer to the middle than you think. So Wisconsin has the time. Yeah, they got to figure it out. I think the kid Blackwell being hurt. I think they need him. But we'll see. But teams, you can go back and look at the successful teams, the successful Badger teams, the successful Marquette teams. They all had kind of stretches at some point in the season where, aren't they better than that? They're just so many games, and it's the ability to bounce back. And sometimes it might not even bounce back till the NCAA tournament. And I'm a firm believer that, right or wrong, that's what people remember.
I'm always on the assumption, though, programs are what programs are.
Yeah.
You know who the programs are. And you know who the programs that Sweet 16, that's about it. And if they're special, maybe they can hit the Final Four. But for the most part, Sweet 16, maybe Final, maybe the Elite Eight, maybe. But you kind of know who these teams are.
But I'm saying you remember the years. To remember a year, you got to get to the Sweet 16. Now, Marquette was different last year. They won the conference. They won the conference tournament. And that'll stand out as year. But the years you remember, you're getting to the Sweet 16 because that means you're winning games that are special.
Well, yeah, but what do you want, though, at the end of the day?
Every year.
Yeah.
Sweet 16.
From your program.
Every year.
There
Sweet 16 and go from there.
Right.
Then Marquette had one stretch, Sweet 16, Elite Eight.
Right.
Didn't make the Final Four.
Right.
But those games are tough. There aren't that many. Just maybe if you're a 1 seed, you get a 16, but they lose that.
I don't think fans see it like you.
That's fine.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I know.
Because I just look.
I know what my team is.
I go by what fans years ahead talk about.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I know what my team is. And
I'm saying, what teams do they remember?
My team should be the Badgers. I know what they are.
Yeah, but you remember the years.
Institutionally, I know what they are.
You remember the years they went Sweet 16 and further. They've won a number of Big Ten titles.
Sure.
I don't know how many you remember that, but you remember the years they went on in the tournament.
Sure.
That's kind of my point. What are you going to remember? What are you going to remember in the future years?
Actually, I'm going to be honest with you. I only remember the Ben Brust teams.
Final Four, yeah.
That I really only remember.
But if
that.
they had
just so you know, the Sweet 16 teams, I don't remember.
Well, no, because you had better. But until that occurred, you probably had other members.
Yeah.
Sweet 16 was pretty good until they showed up. Then it's back-to-back Final Four.
But I don't expect Final Four.
All right.
From them,
correct.
I think it's for the Badgers. I feel like it's lightning in a bottle,
right?
Because they don't recruit at a high enough level for it to be Final Four every year.
But even
it's the right group, the right mix at the right time for the Final Four.
But you get this year, get to the tournament, win a couple
football
games.
Team is the same way.
The
Badgers football team is the same way. The Badgers premise in sports, in basketball, in football, to me, is the same.
And that is?
Lightning in a bottle.
Well, but how good are you going to be when you don't have lightning in the bottle?
Well, I mean, then you're talking about, at worst, like you were last year. At best, you're talking 10, 11 wins. That's the Badger program, football and basketball.
See, and I thought the Badger football program, when the change in the coaches, they're going to make the playoffs.
Well, they should. In this setup, yes. Right. But if you look at Paul Chryst, if he had this setup here, they'd have made the playoffs at least 2-3 times if they had the same setup.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're a team who can make the playoffs in the new setup because that's kind of where they are.
Right. And in the old system, they were a player. They got close. I'd say after you have a 30-foot putt
that's who they
and
are.
It rolls out, I go, gave us a thrill.
Yeah.
They gave us a thrill. They had some thrills.
But what do you want from your program?
I'd like one of those thrills to turn
drop.
Into.
You like one of those thrills?
One of those thrills to drop.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't,
right.
and and they didn't until,
right.
and they haven't really yet.
What do you
football.
expect out of Tiger right now?
What do I expect out of Tiger?
Yeah.
In terms of winning? No, nothing.
He's trying to catch lightning in a bottle.
Of course he's
not there.
Well,
most
superstars, he may have already had his. Most superstars always seem to do it once more than you think.
I think he had to once more.
That's
already.
what I'm saying. He might have.
Yeah.
But don't ever count him out.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Don't ever count him out. Don't ever count Michael Jordan out. Don't ever.
Well, we can count Michael Jordan out.
Well,
right
no,
now
but I'm
he can't
saying,
play
and
no
in
more.
terms, you could count him out. He didn't have that.
Yeah, because when Mike went to Washington, what was that?
Yeah, that's Al Jordan. That's not.
Right.
But so he didn't do it.
Right.
And Tiger Woods could be at that situation as much because of his health, but anything else. But in general, with all of these, but Tom Brady, don't count him out. He might have another one in him. He did.
Yes.
Bill Belichick, it doesn't appear that.
You ready for this one?
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers got another one in him?
He could, yes. Yeah, yes. Do I think he does? I'm not sure, but I will. Yes, that's the premise. Yes. Is it possible? Hell yes. Yes, it's possible.
Don't count him out.
No, those guys, they often seem to have one more. Not all of them. I mean, Peyton Manning had one more, and he wasn't any good.
Well, Peyton, that was his team.
Yeah, well, okay.
He couldn't even move his neck.
I know. Well, maybe the Jets.
Okay.
The Jets seem all screwed up, but if their defense was that good, can Aaron Rodgers get the job done?
See, that's the thing.
If the defense is carrying him, hell yes. Is the defense that good? But that would be a good example.
Rodgers would be that guy right
when
now.
When Mahomes is 55, I'll say
he'd be that guy.
I'll say he could do it again.
Yeah.
Get another good example. LeBron James.
Yes.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Right.
I think he's to the point where he could amaze with a series. He could amaze to get you maybe to the. I don't think he can do it with that team long enough to win a championship.
No, he needs to be on another team.
But
like if he were with Golden State, I think they got a shot. Like
yeah.
it
Oh
was
yes.
rumored.
Oh yeah. Which
But
doesn't mean anything.
that Lakers team right now, they're not very good.
But I think they're still capable of doing something.
Before we go here,
Yes.
Doc Rivers,
Yeah.
2-7,
Yeah, or 3-7 or
3-7.
Yeah.
I contend they never should have got rid of Budenholzer.
You're right. You're 100% right. 100%. Yes, that was a mistake.
And
Giannis was hurt, and they shouldn't have done anything but said, let's go. Let's regroup, do it again.
And who's the other guy? Was it Tucker? Who's the guy?
P.J. Tucker. They
Should have never got rid of him. Run it back.
Yes, run it back. I don't.
And now
yes.
here we sit.
Right. And
I wanted Doc Rivers here, just so you know.
What?
I wanted Doc here.
Back when he got fired, what they didn't want him.
No. But I wanted him when they made this move. I liked that move.
Right.
But it feels like something is not right with this Bucks team right now.
And I said this,
I don't know what it is.
I can tell you what it is.
Tell me.
Giannis doesn't. It's not Giannis's team.
Whose team is it?
I don't know, because if it was Giannis's team, given as hard as he plays, those other guys wouldn't be playing like that. He wouldn't put up with it, or they wouldn't want to do it because they wouldn't want to embarrass him. Giannis is a great player, but the play of this team in these games is not on Doc Rivers. It's on Giannis. Giannis sets the standard of how they play. Now, I don't know if Lillard...
Wait a minute. Holiday. Should they have not got rid of Holiday for Lillard?
No, they shouldn't have. They should have kept it just like you said.
Should have ran it back.
Ran it again. But I don't know I'm just saying the play of this team that's so bad is on Giannis. And you know who knows it's on Giannis is Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers is spending his time trying to figure out a way for Giannis to set a standard that the other players adhere to. Yes. You know that. Picking a team takes on the character of the best players.
The lead dog.
Yes. The Gary Ellerson Homer Hour.
Got it all in.
Baby, this is good. You gotta listen to it a second time. WisconsinOnDemand.com. I don't know what's next, but it can't be this good. Next.
Not much left out on the roads, just a little bit backed up eastbound 94 between 76th Street and 27th. Other than that, everything else is rolling along just fine. Traffic is brought to you by the Delafield Brewhouse. Now on tap, Blueberry Ale, a semi-sweet, light-bodied ale made with 100% pure fruit. Drink ale, live lager, the Delafield Brewhouse. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight, partly cloudy and cold with a low of 13, wind chill of anywhere between 5 above